Hello, my name is Manyazal and this is General Science Review Questions with Answers and Explanations for Grade 8, Part 1. Unit 1. Fill in the blank space. Question number 1. Dash is a plan for asking questions and testing possible answers in order to advance scientific knowledge. The answer is scientific method. The scientific method provides a structured process for exploring questions, forming hypotheses, conducting experiments, and analyzing results to build knowledge. Question number 2. Conducting a fair test is measuring the effect of dash. The answer is an independent variable. A fair test evaluates how changes in the independent variable affect the dependent variable while keeping other variables constant. Multiple choice questions. Question number 3. A person takes a painkiller, aspirin, whenever he feels headache. The independent variable is A. Headache, B. Aspirin, C. Painkiller, D. The person. The answer is headache, because in this scenario, the person's action or taking aspirin depends on the presence or absence of a headache. The headache acts as the cause or trigger, making it the independent variable, while taking aspirin is the effect or the dependent variable. Independent variables are factors that influence outcomes, and here the headache directly influences the decision to use aspirin. If the question were testing whether aspirin relieves headaches, aspirin would be the independent variable. However, since the scenario describes headaches leading to aspirin use, the headache is the independent variable. Question number 4. Foods like milk have high calcium content and are good for the bone strength of a child. What is the dependent variable? A. Milk, B. Bone strength, C. Any food, D. Child. The answer is bone strength. The statement links calcium-rich food like milk to improved bone strength in children. Here, bone strength is the outcome being influenced, making it the dependent variable. The calcium content in foods, which is the independent variable, is the factor hypothesized to cause the effect on bone strength. Therefore, the independent variable, the calcium intake from foods like milk, and the dependent variable is the bone strength, which is the result being measured. Here, milk is an example of calcium source, but it is not the variable itself. The child is the subject, it's not a variable. Thus, B is the correct because bone strength depends on calcium consumption. Investigative questions. Question number 5. Describe the main steps of a scientific method. The answers include: the first step is observation, which identifies a problem or question based on observations. Then hypothesis, that formulates a testable explanation or prediction. Then experimentation, which design and conduct an experiment to test the hypothesis. Then data collection and analysis, which gather and analyze results. Then conclusion, which draws conclusion and determine if the hypothesis is supported. And finally, communication, that shares findings with others. These steps ensure a systematic approach to problem solving and advancing scientific understanding. Question number 6. What is the source of any hypothesis? A hypothesis is typically based on observations, existing knowledge, or previous research. Hypotheses are informed guesses developed from prior knowledge and observations, providing a basis for further investigation. Question number 7. In conducting a fair test, the effect of one variable should be measured, keeping other conditions constant. Why? The answer is to ensure the validity of the results by isolating the effect of the independent variable. In a fair test, scientists aim to determine cause and effect relationships. If multiple variables are allowed to change at once, it becomes impossible to know which variable or combination of variables caused the observed outcome. By controlling other conditions or keeping them constant, we eliminate confounding variables, which are external factors that could skew results. Isolate the impact of the independent variables, or the one being tested on the dependent variable, or the outcome measured. For example, if testing whether fertilizer increases plant growth, the independent variable is the amount of fertilizer, and the controlled variables, water, sunlight, soil type, and temperature. If you vary both fertilizer and water, you can't tell which factor caused changes in growth. The key distinction here is the validity, which is the controlling variables ensure the experiment measures what it claims to measure. Reliability, consistent conditions allow others to replicate the test and verify results. Unit 2. Short answer questions. Question number 1. What are the basic building blocks of matter? The answer is atoms. Atoms are the fundamental unit of matter, consisting of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Question number 2. The simplest particles of iron are dash. The answer is atoms of iron. The smallest unit of an element, like iron, is its atom, which retain the chemical properties of the element. Question number 3. Fill in the table below to compare the mass and volume of a proton with the mass and volume of an electron. The answer is The mass or the relative mass of proton is approximately 1 atomic mass unit, and the relative mass of electron is 1 over 1836 times that of proton's mass, and the volume of proton is very small and the volume of electron is much larger space occupied. Protons have significantly more mass than electrons. Electrons occupy much more volume due to their spread out arrangement in the electron cloud. Question number 4. If you were to cut a metal element over and over again to the point that is barely visible, would it still be considered as an element? Why? The answer is yes, because even the smallest piece of a metal element consists of atoms of that element, which retain its chemical properties. An element remains the same as long as it consists of its characteristic atom, regardless of size. Question number 5. Which is larger, a living cell or an atom of hydrogen? Explain your answer. The answer is a living cell is vastly larger than a hydrogen atom, because size of a hydrogen atom, a single hydrogen atom, which is the smallest atom, has a diameter of approximately 0.1 nanometers. Size of a living cell, even the smallest cell such as bacteria, measures around 0.5 micrometers in diameter. Large cells like human cells can be 10 to 30 micrometer in diameter. Converting units, which is 1 micrometer is equal to 1000 nanometer, so a 0.5 micrometer bacterial cell is 500 nanometer wide, which is 5000 times larger than a hydrogen atom. The reason here is cells are complex structures composed of millions to billions of atoms, including proteins, lipids, and DNA. A single atom cannot form the intricate machinery required for life. Example, imagine a hydrogen atom as a tiny grain of sand, approximately 0.1 nanometer. A bacterial cell would look like a large beach ball, approximately 500 nanometer compared to that grain. Therefore, the size difference span orders of magnitude, making a living cell incomparably larger than a hydrogen atom. Multiple choice questions. Question number 6. An element is determined by the number of A. atoms, B. electrons, C. neutrons, D. protons. The answer is protons. The number of protons in the nucleus or atomic number uniquely identifies an element. Question number 7. Which part of an atom takes up the most space? A. the nuclei, B. the electrons, C. the neutron, D. the protons. The answer is the electrons. The electron cloud surrounding the nucleus occupies most of an atom's volume, though the electrons themselves are tiny. Question number 8. The nucleus of an atom consists of A. Electrons, B. Neutrons, C. Protons and neutrons, D. Protons, neutrons and electrons. The answer is protons and neutrons. The nucleus is the dense central part of an atom containing protons and neutrons, while electrons orbit the nucleus. Question number 9. Which two particles of an atom are attracted to each other? A. Electrons and neutrons, B. Electrons and protons, C. Protons and neutrons, D. All particles are attracted to each other. The answer is electrons and protons. Protons, which are positively charged, and electrons, which are negatively charged, attract each other due to their opposite charges. Investigative questions. Question number 10. Describe the composition of a matter. Matter is composed of atoms, which consist of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Atoms form molecules and compounds, creating different types of matter. Matter is structured from fundamental particles arranged into atoms, which combine to form all physical substances. Question number 11. If scientists found a new particle that they thought was the smallest part of an atom, how could they be sure that there wasn't anything smaller? Can you think of anything that is not made of atoms? The answer is scientists would test using particles accelerators to observe subatomic particles and confirm their properties. Example of things not made of atoms include light or other form of energy. Advanced experimental tools like particle accelerators probe smaller components like quarks and energy forms like photons are not made of atoms. Question number 12. How do you know that the air you breathe is not a single substance? The answer is air is not a single substance because it can be physically separated into distinct components like nitrogen, oxygen, and argon through methods such as fractional distillation, and its composition varies slightly. Chemical reactions, example combustion consuming oxygen while leaving nitrogen, and spectral analysis confirm its mixed nature, revealing unique properties for each gas. Finally, its known proportions 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and trace gases demonstrate it is a mixture, not a pure compound. Question number 13. Gallium or Ga with atomic mass 69.72 mu has two isotopes, gallium 69 and gallium 71. Gallium 69 has an atomic mass of 68.9257 atomic mass unit. What is the mass of gallium 71 if the natural abundance of the two isotopes, gallium 69 and gallium 71, are 60% and 40% respectively? The answer will be the mass of gallium-71 is approximately 70.92 atomic mass unit. Here, the weighted average of isotopes is calculated as this. Unit 3. Short answer questions. What is a compound? A compound is a substance formed when two or more different elements chemically bond together. Compounds have unique properties, different from the elements that form them, such as water or carbon dioxide. Question number 2. What are the two main classes of compounds? The answer is organic and inorganic compounds. Organic compounds contain carbon and are found in living organisms, while inorganic compounds typically do not contain carbon and are associated with non-living things. Question number 3. Hydrocarbons are organic compounds which are composed of two chemical elements, dash and dash. The answer is carbon and hydrogen. Hydrocarbons are the simplest organic compounds consisting only of carbon and hydrogen atoms. Question number 4. Dash neutralize acids and acidic oxides. The answer is base or basic oxides. Bases neutralize acids by reacting with hydrogen ion to form water and salt. Question number 5. The reaction of acid and base gives dash and dash, and the reaction is called dash. The answer is water, salt, and neutralization. Acids and bases react in neutralization reaction to produce water and salt. Therefore, the reaction of acid and base gives salt and water, and the reaction is called neutralization reaction. Choose the correct answers. Which formula represents the hydrocarbon octene? A. C8H14, B. C8H12, C. C8H18, D. C8H16. The answer is C8H16. Octene is an alkene with 8 carbon atoms and double bond, following the general formula CnH2n. Question number 7. Which organic compound is an alkyne? A. Acetylene, B. Urea, C. Aspirin, D. Ethene. The answer is acetylene. Alkyne are hydrocarbons with at least one triple bond. Acetylene C2H2 is the simplest alkyne. Question number 8. Which one of the following is an inorganic compound? A. Marsh gas, B. Water, C. Sugar, D. Vinegar. The answer is water. Water, or H2O, is an inorganic compound as it does not contain carbon-hydrogen bonds. Question number 9. All metallic oxides are basic oxides. True or false? The answer is false, because while many metallic oxides, particularly those of alkali and alkaline earth metals, example sodium oxide and calcium oxide, are basic and react with acids to form salt and water, not all metallic oxides are strictly basic. Some metallic oxides exhibit amphoteric behavior, that's reacting with both acids and bases, or even acidic properties depending on the metal's position in the periodic table as oxidation state. Examples of exceptions: amphoteric oxides, aluminum oxide, react with both hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. Zinc oxide and lead oxide similarly display amphoterism. Acidic oxides, sodium trioxide, a transitional metal oxide, reacts with water to form chromic acid. And manganese heptoxide is another acidic metallic oxide. Therefore, all metallic oxides are not basic oxides. The answer is false. Question number 10. Which one of the following is the chemical formula for ammonium phosphate? A. NH4PO4, B. NH3 the whole 4 PO4, C. NH3 the whole 3 PO4, D. NH4 the whole 3 PO4. The answer is NH4 the whole 3 PO4. Ammonium phosphate is a compound formed from 3 ammonium ions and 1 phosphate ion. Question number 11. Identify the non-metallic oxide among the following: A. Al2O3 or aluminum oxide, B. Magnesium oxide, C. Carbon dioxide, D. Barium oxide. The answer is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a non-metallic oxide that reacts with water to form carbonic acid, making it acidic. Question number 12. A student burned a certain substance in air and put the product into water. The solution turned red litmus paper to blue. The product obtained by the student was dash. A basic oxide. B, an acid. C, an acidic oxide. D, a neutral oxide. The answer is a basic oxide. Basic oxides react with water to form alkaline solutions, which turn red litmus blue. Question number 13. One of the following is not a product when an acid reacts with carbonates. A, carbon dioxide gas. B, oxygen gas. C, salt. D, water. The answer is oxygen gas. The reaction of acids with carbonates produces carbon dioxide, water and salt, but not oxygen. Question number 14. Which one of the following is a binary salt? A, magnesium sulfate. B, sodium biphosphate. C, aluminum sulfate. D, iron sulfide. The answer is iron sulfide. Binary salts consist of two elements, such as iron sulfide, where iron and sulfur only exists. Question number 15. Which reaction differs from the rest? A, calcium hydroxide plus sulfuric acid gives us calcium sulfate plus water. B, hydrochloric acid plus magnesium carbonate gives us magnesium chloride plus carbon dioxide plus water. C, hydrogen chloride plus sodium hydroxide gives us sodium chloride plus water. D, potassium hydroxide plus sulfuric acid gives us potassium sulfate plus water. The answer is hydrochloric acid plus magnesium carbonate gives us magnesium chloride plus carbon dioxide plus water. This reaction involves an acid reacting with a carbonate, unlike the others, which are neutralization reactions between acids and bases. Investigative questions. Question number 16. A farmer in your locality is challenged to cultivate a teff due to high soil acidity of his farmland. What do you recommend to him to improve the yield of teff on his farm? The answer is to use lime or calcium carbonate to neutralize the soil acidity. Neutralize the acidity of the soil by adding wood ash or alkaline chemicals such as calcium carbonate and quicklime. Lime reacts with acidic components in the soil, raising its pH and improving conditions for crops. Question number 17. In everyday life, storing of talla and milk is a common problem. What do you suggest to extend the age of talla and milk without storing? And what is the common indigenous knowledge used by the people in your locality? The answer is store in cool conditions and airtight containers to prevent fermentation. Cool temperatures slow microbial activity and tight storage reduces exposure to air, delaying soaring. Question number 18. Assume you want to test the acidity and basicity of substance in your local area, but you do not have any litmus paper or acid-base indicator. What do you do? The answer is use natural indicators like turmeric or red cabbage juice. These natural substances change color in the presence of acids and bases, acting as pH indicators. Question number 19. In your laboratory, unfortunately, if a strong acid is splashed into the eyes of your friend, what will be the substance that should be used for first aid treatment? The answer is flush the eye with plenty of water or a dilute sodium bicarbonate solution. Water dilutes the acid and reduces its harmful effects, while sodium bicarbonate neutralizes the acid. Question number 20. If you live in a lowland area, you may commonly use fresh water from lakes for drinking. Lake water is often alkaline and its pH is greater than 7, which is not convenient for drinking. What will be your remedy? The answer is using lemon juice or vinegar to lower the pH. Adding a weak acid like lemon juice adjusts the pH of the water to a more neutral level. Question number 21. Your mom often washes her jewelry made from gold or silver with lemon juice. Why did she use lemon juice to clean her jewelry instead of soap? The answer is lemon juice dissolves tarnish or oxidation on the surface of jewelry. The acid in lemon juice reacts with the removes the oxide layer, restoring the jewelry shine. Question number 22. What is the effect of acid rain on buildings? And what are the sources of acidic rain? Acidic rain corrodes metals and erodes limestones and marble. Sources include emission of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide from industries and vehicles. Acid rain reacts with building materials, weakening structures, and its primary pollutants come from combustion. Question number 23. Why do indicators change their color in acidic and basic solutions? The answer is indicators have molecules that react with hydrogen ion or hydroxide ions, altering their structure and odor. The structural changes in indicator molecules caused by pH differences result in visible color changes. Dear viewers and listeners of this YouTube channel, this is all about Unit 1, 2 and 3 of General Science review exercise with their answers and explanations. See you in part 2 of Unit 4, 5 and 6. Thank you. If you have any question, comment or suggestion, you are welcome.